Hey guys, welcome to another Smartpreneur Live. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we're going to be going live with Tofumi Akinsheye, who's the founder and CEO of Savvy Media Africa. And we're going to be talking about bootstrapping your startup. So let us see if Tofumi is ready to go live, and then we will start the conversation. Okay, awesome. We're still waiting. Okay, Tofumi's here. So let me add her so we can start the conversation. Just waiting for her to join.
Hey!
Hi, Tofumi. How are you?
Hey, darling. I'm very well. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you perfectly. Your makeup is popping.
Good.
I feel like I didn't have enough makeup on now. I've
I
seen
try to
yours.
look like
Yours is
you
like
more now.
snatched.
Let me glow like you a little. Let me
Thank
glow
you for
up like
joining us.
you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You've overtaken my own glow. Okay, so let me just pin the topic of what we're going to be talking about, which is bootstrapping your startup. Thank you for everyone who's joining us. So nice to see you guys again. I love how we meet twice a week. Okay, bootstrapping your startup with you, Tofumi. So my nails are long this week, so I can't. I'm typing slowly.
It's fine. It's okay.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm just gonna pin that, and then we'll get into the conversation if Instagram will let me pin comment. Okay, great. So pinned, we're ready to go. So for me, I know you on a personal level, so I know a bit of your story, but I feel like I'm going to learn even more about you today, because I feel like whenever I do these lives, even if it's people I know, outside of social media, so much is revealed, so many amazing business lessons are shared. So I know that today is going to be really amazing. I'm so happy we've already got some people who've joined, and I'm sure more are still going to join us. So for those who don't know you, who don't know what you do, can you give us a bit of background about Savvy Media Africa and about, how you got into the publishing space?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Tofumi, and I like to call myself the team lead for Savvy Media Africa. Yeah, the CEO for Savvy Media Africa. I'll give you a little background about how I started. Because of the theme, for the discussion, it would be nice that I put a perspective as to how I started in the media space. Okay. So I started off back then in my university days at the University of Ibadan in my 300 level. I've always been a restless kid, actually, and I remember back in the days I was always involved in activities, a lot of activities from the debate society, to I was even the head girl in my secondary school days. So I've always had that leadership trait in me. So I got to my 300 level and I got really, really restless. And I wanted to do something purposeful aside from my academic pursuit. So I was really restless and I wanted to do something good. And while back then I was surrounded by a lot of young people that inspired me, a lot of young people that were doing really, really great stuff, amidst the whole, issues we have faced with government, how crazy, it could be for young people out there. And then you find a lot of young people still being able to, find something to do. It was really inspiring for me. And then I felt, okay, I want to have a platform that would celebrate these guys. I want to have a platform that will shine the spotlight on young people doing exceptionally well in different fields. And that was what brought about Savvy Magazine. I said, okay, let me start a magazine. And since I had a flair for writing, you know, okay, let me put together a magazine that can tell the story of young people, that can sort of create like a link between young people and their audience. And I remember the first magazine then was just a 25-page magazine that was graced by Mr. Mady, the musician who shared the story as to how he started music and how he got recognized. And then we also interviewed other young people that were doing really great. So that was how Savvy started. Savvy started just as a publishing firm, and then we've evolved over the years into a full media company, yeah, where we do content creation, digital strategy for business growth, and we still do our publishing by the side. And over the years, we've heard about 9 editions graced by notable celebrities in Nigeria, from Kule Afolayan and Nick Dibia to Sheyi Shea to Nini Ola. It's a long list. So we've had a lot of notable celebrities grace the magazine, and we've also had a lot of strategic partnerships and clientele spanning across the banking industry, the telco industry, the FMCG, and other industries. So I hope that answers the question. So that's how Savvy started, and this is how Savvy has evolved over the years.
Fantastic. That answered the question really well. I love the sort of all-encompassing view that you gave. And I think you're a really remarkable person for many reasons. But one of the main reasons is I remember when I first came across your magazine, had I met you? I think I'd met you. Yeah. And I think you told me you do a magazine, but I didn't really know what it looked like. I was at Miss K Boutique one day, which is a fashion boutique here in Lekki, and I saw the magazine and I was like, oh wow. And I think I remember saying to you after that, like, it's amazing, the quality is so good.
Yeah.
It could be a Cosmopolitan, a Glamour, an Elle, it's the exact same quality, but it has content that is relevant to us here in Nigeria. I loved it. I was so impressed, and then getting to know you more.
Thank you.
I've known you a couple of years now, but the more I know you, the more impressed I am with you. So I didn't even have to go on and on and on. But I just want to talk about bootstrapping in terms of, I love the way that, if I didn't know you, I would think there was a really big publishing house behind Savvy. So how have you been able to bootstrap to the extent where, your quality, your product is of such good quality consistently, the people that you have in your publication, like you have the Big Brother stars, you have, really trending people, you tackle trending topics, and as you yourself mentioned, you're able to have partnerships in the banking space, in the FMCG space. That's something that, people would think, oh, you can't just do as a smaller brand. That's only when you get $1 million investment, $5 million investment, but you did not need that. You were able to do that through bootstrapping. So if you talk to us about some of the strategies that anyone watching can apply to their industry that has sort of helped you grow quite significantly in a pretty, not that, big space of time.
Okay. Yeah. So starting out a business with no capital can be very challenging, and it's not a walk in the park, especially if you're playing in a space that is very capital intensive. The media space is huge. It is capital intensive. You need money to run it. Although I started the publishing business, it was a form of a passion for me. I was passionate about it. I just liked, interviewing, so like fun, but then it got to a point where I had to start seeing the magazine from a business standpoint, because you can't be in time.
Oh, for me, I hope you're not freezing.
A particular interest or a passion, and it's not yielding some financial gains for you. Over time, you get burnt out.
Yeah.
So how have I gotten to where I am today? It's like I said earlier, it's not a work in the park, but I'll share some of the things that I was able to do or have done through the entire process. So the first thing is that you need to develop the right skill sets needed for your industry or for whatever space that you're playing in. Why? Mm-hmm. Because when you start your business, you cannot afford to hire anyone. You're basically on your own. You don't even have a capital to start. So you need to be able to work on yourself. You need to be able to learn, the necessary skill set needed for that space where you play. Because you would literally be playing in the entire process, of your dream or your passion or your business. It's just you alone. So for me in the media space, I had to learn a lot of things. Yes, my core strength is writing. I like to write. But then playing in the media space is beyond just writing. Okay? So I had to learn a lot of stuff from digital marketing, social media marketing, content creation, to branding, to brand perception, to lot. It's a lot, you know. So first and foremost, identify the skill sets that you need for your space, for industry where you play in. If you need to learn, you know, Google is there. If you need to intern in a place, you know, to learn the skill, it's fine. And for me, I've been on this journey for 5 years, you know, and it's been a learning curve. It's been a process, you know. So even as a business person, if you don't have the necessary skill set, if you need to intern in a place to learn, please do. If you need, you know, to go on Google to learn, please do. You have to learn as much as you can. You have to know everything about the entire process of your business, because you cannot afford to hire people. So you have to have an understanding of everything. Okay, that's one. The second one is you don't have money, but you need to have character capital. So what do I mean by character capital? I mean, yeah, there is no money, but how do you interact with people? What's your relationship with people? Do you easily get along with people? Are you the patient type? Are you humble? My darling, you don't have money, so why are you carrying shoulders? So you need to be humble.
Right? I agree.
I agree. You need to be able to build character, you know, because you will need people entrepreneurship. You can't do it alone. You will need people. And what would make people comfortable enough to want to work with you on your journey is your character. When I built a team for Savvy, when I built Savvy team at the beginning, I had no money to pay anybody in the team. But people were willing to work with me. Why? Because they saw that, you know, I was a good person. I had a good personality. You know, I was very appreciative of it, very, very appreciative of people's effort. And I tried in one way or the other to invest in people's life, even if it's not in monetary terms. How can I help you? You know, so so character capital is very key as an entrepreneur who is starting off on nothing.
I love that. I'm writing it down. Character capital.
So you have to
please trademark that.
You have to have good character.
Amazing. I totally agree with you.
Yeah. Okay, so the next thing is you being able to identify.
Sorry, go ahead.
The next thing is you being able to identify strategic partnerships. And I would explain. Okay? So you need to understand who needs your product. So when you've been able to identify who needs your product, then you begin to ask yourself, who do I know that knows someone that needs my product? You know, I'm being real. That's how I started. Okay, I'm in the publishing space. Who is my audience? Okay, people who need to put out their brand there. People who need to connect with my audience. So who are they? Okay, the telco, the banking industry. You know, everyone wants to put out their stuff out there. Everybody needs a channel to communicate with their audience. So I look through family, I look through friends. Okay, family first. What auntie do I know that is working in a particular place that can, you know, set me up for a meeting with people who would be willing to hear me out and who would be willing to listen to my story and see what I've done. Okay, so once you've been able to identify people like that, they can help you through your journey. For example, when I landed my first big client in the telco industry, it was through someone. But then again, it's not just about you knowing someone, it's about you having something to show that person. So before I landed my first client in a big industry, in the telco industry, I had for 2-3 editions done a free advert for them. I've had them, I've had them on my magazine, 2-3 editions, had done free adverts for them. So when I was able to identify a family who knew someone in that space, you know, it was easy to get them on board. One, they had seen the quality of the print, the quality of the content. And then they're super surprised. Wow, you've even been advertising for us for free. You know, so it was easy to have them on board. You know, so one, make sure that what you're putting out there is good. Identify people that you know within that space. Sometimes the people you know within that space might not even be in the particular department for what you need, but they may actually, you know, send you to someone or
of course,
talk to someone about you. So do not take anyone within your circle for granted. This is one thing I know and I believe strongly in. If Tolu, for example, does not know that person, Tolu might know someone that knows that person. And that's how you network. And that person may know someone that knows someone.
Know somebody,
So do not take your circle for granted as an entrepreneur, as a startup. Look through your circle, put down the list of people that you know on the paper, write their businesses, where they work, begin to call them, begin to contact them, begin to disturb them. And then I'm very sure from the wide list of contact that you have, you should be able to find one or two to actually kickstart your career. And that's how I actually landed my first client on the magazine. Then another thing I would say is to pursue excellence. You know, sometimes people feel that because I do not have money, I do not have capital, then I cannot pursue excellence. No, it's not true. You know, there are smart ways to achieve excellence without having to pay so much. You know, and for
I
me,
agree.
Yeah, for me as an individual and as a business person, I have people, I have organizations within my space that I like to model after. Okay. So for example, if I want to model after a Vogue magazine, I do not have the capacity for the standard of Vogue, but can I do something a bit closer to what Vogue does within my own capacity and within my own resources? Okay. So sometimes in doing and pursuing excellence, you may actually have to sacrifice a lot of things, which is something that I have done and I still do. Some people may think I'm crazy, but I go overboard to pursue excellence because I know that everyone likes to be attached with something that looks good.
Of course.
Because you do not have capital, it's not an excuse for you not to pursue excellence. You have to find a way to pursue excellence, because when you pursue excellence, anyone that wants to come aboard will just see that, okay, this person has something good. He or she just needs a support. He or she just needs this or that. You have something good, and like there is a potential in what you're doing. So you have to be able to pursue excellence.
Sorry, can I buttress your point? Not to cut you off, but I just love what you said about pursuing excellence. I think a lot of people that, you know, who are in the startup phase, they have I hear a lot of excuses from people in the startup phase, like, oh, I don't have the money, I don't have this, I don't have that. And I feel like a lot of people think that once you once you have your business idea, you just raise money, maybe somebody will come and give you $100,000. Like that's what they're waiting for in order to have excellence in their business. And I always say that excellence is actually a mindset. I love what you said, because I really can agree with it so much. You don't have to have $100 million, but you do have to go above and beyond, you know, for your product, for your service, so people know that when they're buying Savvy or when they're buying another service, you know, they know what quality to expect, and that actually keeps them coming back. So I just have to buttress that. So go ahead, don't let me start talking.
You cannot overemphasize the need for excellence. How have I been able to attract, industry giants on my cover? I don't know them. People ask me, how do you get celebrities on your cover? Do you pay them? I've never paid the celebrity a dime, but I've been able to show them track records of what I've done. Okay? And most times it's just via an email, and they're on board. Okay, this is what I've done. These are the people we've worked with. This is what we're looking at doing. This is how well do you present yourself? What does your presentation slides look like? Do you understand? So it's all about pursuing excellence. If you pursue excellence, it wouldn't be too hard or so hard to convince people to come on board. So I think I've given about 4 or 5
Yes, you have.
Been able to,
perfectly answered the question. I'm learning so much. I myself, I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And you know how much you help me and you inspire me. So I just feel like, let me
You
not
do
cry.
too, darling.
But there's a lot. There's a lot. But anyway, let's get back to the interview. So let's talk about coronavirus. And not even just coronavirus, just the fact that this has been a very strange year for businesses in terms of, I don't think any business could have forecasted or planned for what's been going on in the world since January 2020 up till this point. It's meant that a lot of people have turned to the internet, especially when there was the lockdown where there was no movement. Everybody was online. A lot of businesses suffered, but some businesses thrived. I know that your business thrived. So I just want to talk about how you sort of utilize the situation to sort of boost your digital footprint, and what sort of pivots that you're considering going forwards to sort of keep your business relevant in this, it's not a new digital age, but in this digital age, I guess. Oh, so for me, please don't say you've frozen. Tofumi, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Sorry, don't drink your water. I was drinking my Coke just a minute ago. So drink. This is Coke, you guys. Sorry, I can't lie. I needed the sugar. So go ahead, drink. I'll ask your question. I'll ask the question again. Please drink your water. What I was asking is about, the digital age, post coronavirus. Well, we're still in the coronavirus phase, but what efforts have you made to sort of boost the more digital side of your business? And going forward, how are you going to amplify that?
That's very interesting. I'll tell you that the COVID period is like a wake-up call for a lot of entrepreneurs and for a lot of businesses, because as entrepreneurs, sometimes you're very stuck on your ways of doing things. You just feel like, no, digital is not it for me yet. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, the COVID experience has been a wake-up call for a lot of people to understand the time and the dynamics at which we are at this time. So for us at Savvy Media, the strategy has been to grow the numbers across board. Yes, we've always had a digital presence, but we did a lot of editorials and all of that, media stuff, interviews, coverage of events, and all of that. But at this time, where brands are not even really collaborating, at this time, what do you do? So the strategy for us has been to sort of grow our digital space across board from Instagram. We've been doing a lot of content. And it's such an interesting time for us at Savvy. We're beginning to understand our audience better. So it's a time, it even gives you ample time to listen, to know what your audience wants, to know the kind of content they like to consume. So that's what we've been doing, and it's been very interesting. Building numbers across, getting to know our audience better. And recently we launched Savvy Media Academy, where we partner with people to teach people stuff around digital marketing. Yeah, and then lately we've been getting emails from people. I mean, digitalization just makes the entire world, it just makes it a global village. Even before COVID-19, a lot of strategic partnerships, or some of the clients I've had on board were clients that I've gotten via just through an email, just through the click of an email and a follow-up. Do you understand? So COVID gives you the opportunity, to be able to see more potential in the digital space. And earlier, it's been an interesting journey for us, as Savvy, getting to bond better with our audience, getting to bond better with our followers, and so that's it really. We're not doing so much around editorials for now. What we're doing presently is to build the numbers across board and to put the story out there.
Okay, fantastic. I love that. And I want to talk more about because I know you're a pro, you know a lot about the digital space, and so that's sort of easy for you. I guess it wasn't going to be such a difficult adjustment. But for brands for brand owners who are looking for ways to get their business online. Maybe they just sell via a shop. They don't have a website and they have a social media account, but they're not really sure about how to update it, what kind of content. What advice would you give for two small brands, or should I say growing brands, for increasing their social media relevance and also for connecting with their target audience on social media and just on the internet in general? Would you say they should do an email list? Should they hire a social media manager? What steps can they take to sort of improve their digital relevancy?
Okay. So after you must have identified your target audience and the people who need your products and services, then you need to be able to know how they like to consume content and what type of content they like to consume, because you cannot put out your products on their face every day, and your face is every day. So you have to find a way to be able to connect with them, and be able to connect with their pain points, and that's where storytelling comes to play. It's very powerful. It's a powerful tool for entrepreneurs that are just starting. Someone said, okay, I put it down here, that the shortest distance between a human brain and the truth is a story. So how do you want to tell your truth?
Story.
Through your story. How will people connect with your brand? Through your story. Someone admire, and I remember very well how that person started through storytelling, and that's Nelly's. I don't know if you know Nelly's.
Nelly's, yes. Niger brand chick.
See, you can actually relate to Nelly's weight loss journey. She sells a lot of healthy stuff.
Yeah.
And you just feel that someone like Nelly's, someone who sells healthy products is supposed to look really thin and lean, but then you see the person behind Nelly's, she's big.
Yeah.
But then Nelly's makes it very easy for you to relate with her brand because she takes you through a weight loss journey. She makes you understand that, see, it's not easy. So through visuals, through a copy, the way she explains her visuals, she explains her journey, you can connect better with a brand. Do you understand? Because you now understand that weight loss journey is not magic. She's magic. She's made it as organic as possible. So I believe very well in organic growth. It could take a long time for you to build a community of people who would, like your product and service. It may take you a long time, but build that connection, make it organic, so that way, you can attract the right people who need your products and your services. Another thing is that you have to be very consistent on social media. You can't just post one time in a day and think that it's fine. No, you can't. So after you've identified the people who need your products and you've identified how they like to consume content on social media, then you have to be able to fine-tune your content, to suit their needs and to suit how they like to, consume such content. So once you're consistent with your posting, you're putting out your stuff every day, you're telling your story in the most organic and truthful way. Sometimes when I see Nelly's dance on her page, I just laugh. I'm like, I wish I had a spirit. I wish I could do what she's doing. I wish I could be that real. But guess what? Working for her. Because her brand is very relatable. So make your brand as relatable and as organic, as possible. Let people understand that there's a human being behind the brand. It's not a robot. That is a brand. There's a human being and consistent with your post, And one thing I would say to business owners as well is that social media is all about perception.
Right,
You can carry in your house, but don't put that. I'm not saying you shouldn't be real, but I've said be organic, but then be very particular about how you want to be perceived. Do you understand? Because plays a key role on social media. So how do you want to be perceived? That's why you have to put out good stuff out there so you're perceived well, because how you're perceived will determine how you'll be priced. Do you understand? So you have to be able to build your brand. You have good brand perception, and just so that your products and services are perceived well. And then also you need to, I tell people, see, no matter how small you are in business, Facebook ads and Instagram ads have made your life easy. Please marketing budget, no matter how small it is. You can't spend so much time developing your product and your services and not create a little budget for marketing. How will you get to know the beautiful and wonderful stuff that you're putting out there? Even if it's 5K monthly or 10K monthly, make sure that you have a marketing budget. It's not that difficult. That 2K or 3K you spend on data, you can spend it on Facebook ads.
I agree.
Out there. So
I agree.
Don't spend too much money on building your products and services, and then neglect the most important part, which is marketing. Okay, so it's very important that you have a marketing budget as a startup.
I totally agree. And just to buttress your point, I feel like, also we have to be realistic. Spending 5K a month is not going to do a lot for your brand. I mean, it will give you some form of visibility, but I think, people should, like, I made this mistake before where I thought, oh, I'm just going to do everything organic. And I think that that's not, I mean, the reason there's Facebook ads and Instagram ads is because they want to make money. So, going organic, not as many people are going to see your post, no matter how much work you do, no matter how beautiful your graphics are, no matter how well edited your videos are. I feel like, you have to pay, like, because it's like they're your landlord. You can't stay in their house for free. You have to pay for Facebook and Instagram.
You have to, you have to spend money to get money, and that's what I don't understand. You have to spend money to get money, especially if you're playing in the digital space, which is really all about perception. Out and making money from their business, and it's not like their products and services are better than yours. It's how they have been able to brand their products. It's all about branding. So the need for a marketing budget really cannot be overemphasized.
I agree. I totally agree. So now I just want to just pause to say that thank you to everyone for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the conversation we're having. Hope you're taking notes. If there are any questions that you have for Tofumi, please do put them in the question box or write them as a comment, and then we'll answer them very shortly in about 10 to 12 minutes. So please, if you have any questions, now is the time to write them in the question box, or just put them as a comment. We'll see them, and Tofumi will answer them. So before we get to questions, I want to talk about what's going on in the world right now. It's overwhelming, it's saddening, it's just very intense, because we thought coronavirus was the worst we're going to experience this year, but the killing of George Floyd in the US that sparked riots in all 50 states, as well as the atrocities towards women that have been committed here in Nigeria, the rape and killing of the young girls Uwa and Tina, and there was one in Ibadan, I think it was yesterday. I don't have all the details of that to hand, but it's just, and I think as women, it's been very triggering. I had a crazy, I had to go to bed early yesterday, so I couldn't even look at social media. It was so sad, and sometimes I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I responded on my personal page, and I put up the Black Hat Tuesday, and on my business page the same, but I also feel like, businesses don't know how to respond in terms of, what can you say as not even as an individual. You're tired, you're saddened, you're burdened, but in terms of communicating from your, from a business angle, some people have said nothing because maybe they don't know how to communicate that from their brand perspective, and some have participated. But what sort of advice would you give brands at this very sensitive time in terms of, obviously they still want to, promoting and all the rest of it, but also being sensitive to what's going on in the world at the moment?
I think what we need at this time is education. Tolu, I'm talking about the experiences happening in Nigeria as regards rape and all of that. You'll be shocked to the extent at which people are ignorant. A lot of people are ignorant in this part of the world. you know, because you know we have a lot of ignorant people here, and you realize that if you go if you go online, you go on social media and you read some comments, you would understand that a lot of people are ignorant on what these things are. A lot of people are ignorant about rape, you know, because of how deep patriarchy has, you know, affected the system. You know, people have different values, different experiences, the way we were brought up, our belief system, you know, how we have normalized a lot of issues that shouldn't be normalized, how we've swept under the carpet a lot of issues that we shouldn't. So at this time, I think as a brand, what we should be doing, or what brands should be doing, is to educate and sensitize people, which is what I've been trying to do with my brand as well. Right now, we're creating a video around myths and facts on rape, because you realize that a lot of people do not even know the meaning of rape. You know, they feel it's like it's only when the woman is struggling, or, you know, there are a lot of myths around, you know, rape, and we have to be able to demystify this thing. So at this time, I feel like education is very, very important. I feel like brands should use their platform to educate people to do better, to understand, to sensitize people, to understand that first, we're first human before religion, we're first human before gender, we're first human before color. You know, so we need, brands should make use of their platforms to, you know, educate people and sensitize people. We can't get tired of talking. It's a battle that we've been fighting for years. So we can get tired of talking, and at every minute, every time, every opportunity that we have, we must continue to educate and sensitize people.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that's just such a, you know, such a great way of looking at it, because I think sometimes brands do not want to speak out for fear of saying the wrong thing. You know, it's very sensitive, and it's like, especially an issue like rape, it's like, you know, I see people tweeting and putting up the poster, but beyond that, I think there's a fear of not wanting to get it wrong, you know? So I really thank you just for explaining your own brand perspective. Okay, if there's any questions, now is the time for those questions. If not, I will continue, because I have a lot of questions. You guys know I talk a lot. Well, I don't talk a lot, but when it comes to business, I talk a lot. I like to learn. So yes, if anybody has questions. Hi, Wendy. How are you? Thank you for joining us. We are with Tofumi. He's the founder and the CEO of Savvy Media Africa. Tofumi, do you have any copies of Savvy you can show us next to you there?
Oh, no, it's far from here, actually. Sorry. Okay. But please go on the website, www.savvymagafrica.com. You can download all our past issues for free. And from the Annie DBS issue to Shaisha's issue to Niniola to Mike Edwards,
wow,
you can download all for free on the website, www.savvymagafrica.com.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I didn't even know you could download. I think you did mention that. I will be going on there to download. So no questions yet. So I'm just going to continue. I want to ask you more. While you guys think of your questions, I'm scrolling up. I can't see your questions. Send your questions. But while we wait for your questions, I want to ask you about Savvy Academy, which is more of your learning and training platform, which I know a lot of people here are probably interested in, because, you know, a lot of us, even if we're back at work, we're not back at work full time. So there's a lot of time to learn and to grow our, you know, skills, like you were talking about earlier, how that is one of the most important things entrepreneurs can do. So can you tell us sort of what sort of training is available on Savvy Academy? And once you answer that, I'm going to pose the question, because someone has just asked a question.
Okay. Yeah, so we just concluded one, which is how to create digital products. So what we do right now is we partner with people who already have the product. So we use our own channel to help them push the product. So a lot of them do not have the audience and the huge following and the channel to reach people who may need this course. So we partner with such people who already have the course, they have the teaching, they have their slides, they have the presentation, they have all of that. We partner with them, you know, put out the word there so people can have access to the course. So we have just ended one, you know, around digital creation, where we had like 20 people pay a token to learn. And that's what we just concluded, but we haven't started any one yet. But if you want to know the next one, we're definitely working on another one. Please follow Savvy Media Africa or Savvy Media Academy. We will put it out there whenever we start a new course.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I know that you guys have a Telegram group. Is the Telegram group open for everyone to join?
Yes. Savvy Media Africa, yes, it is.
Okay, you guys get on the Telegram group. A lot of amazing information is shared on that group. I'm on that group as well. And I know how much it's benefited me. So please do get on the Telegram group, because I think sometimes scrolling through Instagram, things, can get lost.
Yeah.
But there's some great information on there. Okay, so we have a question now, and I feel like I'm coming really close. It is from Agoro, and he says, is there a need to expand brand stories to social platforms one is unfamiliar with to expand customer reach?
Sorry, come again?
Is there a need to expand brand stories to social media platforms that one is unfamiliar? So for example, is it necessary to, like, let's say you're always on Instagram, is it necessary to expand your brand story to like Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook in order to reach, a different audience?
You need to understand once you've been able to identify your audience, which of the platforms do they use mostly? Okay, and you know the demographics of your brand. If you know the people following your brand, the age, the location, once you have all this start, you know what medium or what social media platform you use the most. So those are the platforms you should to reach out to them. Okay, depending on the type of product or service that you offer. If your product or service is for the low income earners, sort of Facebook would work for you. You understand? Because I think Instagram is for the glam and all of that.
Yeah.
So if you really want to reach out to the roots, people, low income earners, people from the northern parts, and all of that. Facebook is a great way, to reach out to them. So it doesn't have to be Instagram alone. Just identify your target audience, identify who they are. Once you're able to identify that, then you learn which medium they are on, and then you target them through that medium or through that platform.
Fantastic. So Agora, I hope that we've answered your question effectively. If you have another question, we have a couple of minutes left. Do ask anybody else who's on here. If you guys have any other questions, please do let us know so I can put them to Tofumi. So I want to ask you about having your own website versus being on Instagram, which is like a marketplace. A lot of digital marketers, they all try and push people to your website, because your website, you own your website, so that's more sort of stable, whereas Instagram is like you're just renting, you have a profile on there, but you don't own, anything can happen. So it's better to get people over to either your email list or your website. So I want to just talk to you about that. What have you found to be most effective in terms of keeping the attention? Agora said you answered his question perfectly. Thank you. What have you found sort of the best way to sort of keep hold of your audience? Is it email marketing? Is it your your magazines? Well, sorry, Savvy Media Africa website, or is it your Instagram profile?
Okay. So consumer culture is really is it relative is a word I would use. Your audience consume products differently and depending on the age. For me in the media space and my target audience, they're very young people, and the young people are very impatient. So young people are the most impatient audience you can have. So if you have such an audience, your content has to be very snackable. It has to be very snackable. The first 5-10 seconds, I should be able to get the information that you're giving to me. So for me in the media space, I understand that my audience they are very impatient. So I made sure that I engage them in ways that are very easy to understand and to relate with. So take for example, we have the website where we put up content, news, daily happenings around the world daily. We have that. But then we push the content on the website via the Instagram page, especially through the Insta story. And thank God for Instagram. You can link, your story to your website. And then it's not just about that. Copywriting comes to play. What does your headline look like? How are you selling your product or service? Why would I want to click, on that particular post to learn more or to read more? Do you understand? So we make sure that we do more of visuals. I don't know if people are still doing static at this time. My darlings, you're not evolving with the time. I'll tell you, video is winning right now.
So what do you mean by static for those that don't understand?
Okay, static, just normal banner. Normal banner.
Okay.
Yeah, static, normal, images. Okay, and video is winning right now. I'll tell you for real. And right now that we're paying so much attention on our digital space, and we're beginning to understand our audience, the way people consume video is really amazing. I'm telling you, I did a test. I'll tell you the test that I did recently. I put up a story on the website via a static image, and then I put up the same story using a video. I'll tell you that within 2-3 minutes, the level of engagement that I got was about 70% more than the engagement I got for the static banner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So as entrepreneurs, you need to know how your audience like to consume content. It's very, very important. So once you know how they like to consume content, you know how to feed them with the content, and you know the right place to put your content. Do you understand? Some people do not have websites, and they're selling because they understand their audience and they understand how their audience like to consume their products or services. Some people, you see them dancing with your products and services, and the customers can relate to it, and the customers sell by even without having to visit their website.
Yeah.
So see, marketing is really simple. Once you've been able to understand your audience, once you know your audience and you understand your audience, just give them what they want. It's as simple as that. Don't look at your brand from your own personality, which is the mistake that I made coming up. I was handling savvy from my own personality. Then I realized that I am the people of my audience very different from me. So I had to start to, understand my audience, and I had to start giving my audience what they want, which is very different from my personality or who I am. So most times, entrepreneurs are really challenged and confused, as to how to reach their audience outside how they feel or who they know. Or who they are. So it's really not about how you feel. It's really not about who you are. It's really about your audience. So once you understand and know your audience, then you know how to reach them. You know how they like to consume content. And then you can understand fully as to what mediums or channels that you need to create. I hope
fantastic. Yeah, no, I love that. And I love the fact that you said, don't think about what you like, because I think it's natural to be like, oh, I would respond to this, so people should respond to it. I think it's, I've made that mistake as well, but I think, what you're saying is actually very, very true in terms of trying to understand your audience. And, if, like, for me, my brand, I know that a lot of people younger than me, like my brand. So my social media person is younger than me, right? So for her, it's a no-brainer. She is able to connect effortlessly, whereas I would be racking my brain.
You're doing a great job, a fantastic job, I must say.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
You're welcome.
With a lot of advice from great entrepreneurs like yourself, that is what has made all the difference. But yeah, so hire someone. If you don't know how to connect, if you're not someone who's a natural communicator or connector, then I think outsourcing is also very important. Outsource it. Hire someone who can do that to take it off your plate, so maybe you can focus on other aspects as well. So I think we've come to the end of our live. It's been absolutely amazing. If there's any last minute question, please do ask, because this is, you know, our special time with Tofumi. But if someone actually wants to get in touch with you, Tofumi, and doesn't want to ask a question here, maybe wants to connect with you a bit more directly, what's the best way that anyone watching this?
I'm very active on Instagram, so you can send me a DM via tofumi.a or via @Savvy Media Africa. I will pick it up anytime.
Okay, fantastic. So that's how to connect with Tofumi. Definitely check out Savvy Media Africa and Savvy Media Academy. You guys, you have to, like, I feel like the new currency is not like money, it's not pounds, not dollars, not euros, not naira. It's actually knowledge. Like, knowledge is so amazing. I'm going to share a little anecdote now about, so the other day I had to do something on my website. And I think I kind of shared this with you. And so I asked my web person to do it for me, and he called some money that I wasn't willing to pay. And I was like, you know, that's a bit expensive. Can you do it for a bit less? And he said, no, it's something complicated. He can't do it for any less. So I thought, okay. So I don't really like spending money unnecessarily, and it was really bothering me. So I thought, let me see if I can figure it out, you know, myself before I pay him to do it. Literally went on Google, typed in, you know, a search for what I wanted to do. I could not believe how easy it was. Like, literally,
I make thousands for something that simple.
I saved myself money, a decent amount of money, and I also realized that ignorance is actually expensive. Like, ignorance is, if you don't know something, someone can tell you anything. Oh, it's a big deal, let me do it, pay me this, and you feel like you have no choice. But if you actually, you know, make the time to learn something yourself,
very important.
No one can take it away from you now. I mean, when I told the guy, I mean, the respect level went up about 10 notches. He was like, oh my God, like, okay, no problem. If I ever need him, you know, the humility, the shoulders had gone down. Really, they had. So I love what you're doing with Savvy Academy, and I really implore you guys to take the time to educate yourselves. Education never stops. It's not just school, university. There's always something new to learn. So yeah, Tofumi, thank you so much. And I want to also
thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And to everyone watching, please do not miss Smartpreneur on TVC on Saturdays between 5:45 to 6 p.m. You'll learn so much. We have so many amazing entrepreneurs on that show, and I know that's going to be a blessing to you guys. So please check us out on TVC 5:45 on Saturdays. Keep following us here on Instagram. We do have lives Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. We also have a website, www.smartpreneur.ng. So also visit us on there as well. All right, that's it for this live. Thank you so much. Tofumi, bye for now.
Bye. Bye, honey.
Bye. Bye.